don't mind me using this anime filter to stay anonymous, but instead just try to go through the entire video, and I promise you will see something unique and very amusing concepts of vibe coding here. I will code up an entire vibe coded app in just an hour, and that too using three different platforms. One is going to be ChatGPT, second is going to be the Gemini itself, and the third one is going to be the ultimate vibe coder, that is going to be Cloud. So we will test all these three and try to find out which one codes our indie idea the best and the smoothest with just one single long prompt. So let's get started and we will jump to the screen now. So this is going to be our idea for the vibe coding. So we are going to code an Antakshari game on various themes like songs, city, country, names, startup names, custom themes could be also there, but we are going to not keep custom things in our initial prompt. So our initial prompt is going to be on songs and all this. We are also not going to include startup names, um, because anybody we could take any startup name nowadays and it would turn out to be true. So we are sticking to song, city, and country. And Antakshari, if you don't know, is what we may also call the game of the ending letter or the last letter game. So basically, if someone sings a song like I tried to play and it ends with a Y, so the next person have to end start with a Y. Yes, you are right. Then, if it ends on a T, then the next person would have to start their song with a T. So, together we say, and it goes on like that. So, if a person fails to come up with a song that starts with the last letter that the person before him or her said, then he gets out and the remaining one plays until there is a winner. So let's make the prompt ready for this idea. So now what we are doing is that we are trying to come up with a better prompt than this one that we have over here. And for that I have just added this small line over here. Refine the idea by elaborating the rules and other requirements for this Flutter app project so that it can be fed to an AI system to code. So let's make our grammar somewhat better and AI system for coding. So I am going to use Qwen here and then Grok, because in my opinion, if you are going for a reasoning or a text based task, or if you want some opinions, or if you want a human like smart touch, then these two are the best right now in the market. ChatGPT is too elaborative and sounds like a book, and same with Gemini. And Cloud is better than both of them, but it is not up to the mark. The output is still so generic when you compare it with Qwen and Grok. The second rank goes to Grok, but I will always keep Qwen on first if you are doing these kind of tasks. You will see how the outputs are different uh, on these both ones. So I will just
exclude this out of our range and remove extra city and country names so that it can I will do the same here too, city and country names.
so now we are ready to shoot. Quen takes much more time than any other AI system out there, but it is worth the wait. I can guarantee you that. Try it, give it a shot. It is not the best at coding, not even near to the best, but when it comes to thinking, actual thinking, or giving you an opinion, or being smart, then Qwen stands on the top of the list. I have tried all kinds of AI systems, you name it, and I have tried it, but this one is the best. Then Grok is second, and you can see it is very fast. Okay, so this sounds right. So this is our current prompt that I have drafted. So I majorly took this one, this app overview and supported themes from Grok and pasted it over here. And few things that I added are these. So use provider for state management code, and I provided the exact version of Flutter and Dart. This would sound like a really stupid idea, but what I am trying to do is, let's say this is our app and it was supposed to be a remote game, just like there are some other games too, like Ludo. If we would have gone with the original idea and tried to implement that, then we would have to set up Firebase or any uh, backend of your choice, and we would have to feed and store some data also in our remote DB, because we are using cities, countries. So it is better to store in our database than to give a third party request to someone, other API. And then there would have been account creation and management. So this all would have been done, but instead of that, what we are trying to do now is we are trying to imitate, let's say there are four players and they are sitting and they want to play Antakshari. First of all, they don't need an app when they are trying to play Antakshari in an offline mode. So let's assume the players are remotely present. They are sitting in different remotely and they are trying to play Antakshari in textual form. That's what we are trying to do over here. And that's what our product should imitate and present to us. Let's say the turn starts from the first one and he enters a country name. So the first one is always right. Then the turn goes to the second one. So now the turn is for the second one. He enters something like, if it was a country game, then India was entered. And if he enters a correct name, let's say Australia, then if he enters with Australia, then they can vote, okay, whether this Australia is a correct country name or not. If all of them says that it is correct, then the turn goes to the third one. Okay. If one of them says that Australia is not correct, then he gets out of the game and his turn goes. So from next time the turn will iterate like this: 1 3 4 1 3 4, until one of them gets out. So for now, this is the idea, and two can still vote if he gets out, because he has a say in what others are presenting, because he was initially a player. So this is what we are trying to do. We just want to test out how these AI platforms can code it up and which one is the best. So the idea and business logic doesn't work. We just want to test the functionality. So let's jump on to feeding this prompt to all the three AI platforms that we have out there. Answer for this prompt is ready, and this is what it gave us. So we are just going to copy and paste all the things that it has provided us. So we have to just blindly copy paste it. So the complete code,
We are just going to copy it, go to main.dart, A, command V and command S. Okay. Next, next, next.
there was just a single file. So now it's time to run it and see what Gemini has coded up for us. The UI seems minimal and good, and it is giving me native Android vibes. So player 1 name is Sam, player 2 name is John, player 3 name, let's have a player 3, Dan, start game. Can't turn Sam. So type song starters me Veronica. I say something and just do it. Veronica, I say something. Verify this answer. So John can code here. So if John says okay, he can't actually code. Okay. So there is no animation or anything happening when he clicks tick. Uh, so then type song started with G. It is John's turn. Gemini, are you writing code? Send it. And when I will click this tick mark, you will see that there is nothing happening on the UI, and that is not good. But the code is actually happening. So let's see what Sam has to offer. And if Sam denies it, then you can see that it is Dan's turn. So it still didn't show us anything that if John went out of the game or John has lost the game, nothing like that. So dotingo. Also, you can see these dots. It is also considering other than alphabets. Dot is also being considered, but we will. John can still vote, but let's say if we do it, is it again John's terms? Yeah. So this is here. So John is not getting out. If we are so cities, countries, let's go for cities. Name X, then Y, then Z, then start game. Pretoria. Okay, they both says it is right. So I ended it with the A, then it still says that it is turn for P. Porto. So if they both say yes, winner G. I don't get it. What the game was. So G was G didn't get a turn. Rico. Okay, so they so it came with the R. Why? If he says Rico too, then Vinergy, the logic is not actually right. Does that same thing happens in countries? Bulgaria and the both says Belgium again. So the logic is not right. UI is good that it does always generate. The logic is not right, so it is not a perfect app. At least in one prompt it failed to do so, but let's see what other AI platforms, ChatGPT and Cloud have to. So this was our prompt, and this is the file that it provided us. It also seems like a short file.
So let's run it. So do that and just test it. And you can see that.
It also requires us to do something in the dependencies section. So I did that, saved it. So this is what ChatGPT provided us with, and there was this just small error, and I had to rename it to title large and just run it. So the UI I would say is pretty basic, nothing else, and the player name needs to be, let's say, Sam, Dan, Bam. Add, and let's just start the games. So last entries, last letter, enter your entry, text only. Okay, so it is Sam's turn and he can write any letter. Uh, God's plan, God's plan. Submit entry as Sam. Entry under voting, open voting panel. So then no vote yet. Yes, and Bam also says yes. Voting all must vote. Okay, so an entry has been created. The only problem I saw in UX problem is that the users have to go to another screen to vote. If it would have been here and if it would have been automatic, if a card shows up automatically, then it would have been much better. Now it's Dan's turn, and last letter was no money, no honey. Submit entry as Dan. Open voting panel. No. And he says yes. There are some errors over here. But let's see. He is out. You can see Dan is out now. Now N and it's Bam turns. So nothing lasts forever. Submit entry as Bam. Open voting panel. Sam says yes. He says yes. But you can see eliminated over here too. So finalize R must port. So nothing stays forever. So the R of that came as the entry. Now what we have to do is let's try something right now. Right now. So I will let him pass too, and you can see that it is Bam's turn. It skipped Dan's turns, so the logic is right. Now it is time for Bam to lose. So okay, so it says that it starts with W. So you cannot, the logic is here too. You cannot start without W. Without you, what would I do? So submit entry as Bam and open voting panel. And if both of them says no and do it, you can see that there is a winner. So winner is Sam, already has been considered. Back to lobby. So this one is the best in terms of logic and all, but UI and some UX needs to be taken care of. Otherwise, it is much better than Gemini. Now it is time for Cloud A. Now let's see what Cloud A has in store for us. So let's see, this was our prompt over here. Okay, Antakshari fun Flutter game. I will build a complete. Okay, so it provided us with React code instead of Flutter code, and by saying that it is a Flutter code. React prototype that demonstrates full. So it is using provider. So it is just trying to portray it in React. Okay, let's see. Sam, Dan. Okay, this seems even better. Like first you have to add player and then choose this rain. So we will go with Bollywood songs first. So it is Sam's turn and the UI is much better than both Gemini and ChatGPT. So it is Sam's turn. Enter Bollywood songs. So let's write something. We are here to stay. Submit answer. So cast your votes. You can see that voting appeared by itself, and we also didn't have to navigate somewhere. So if you say stick, if you say stick, okay, game history is here. So it is Nam's turn now, and it ended with a Y, so we have to. Yes, you are right. So submit this answer. So if we say tick, you can see the person can also change and then finish voting. So dam is opt. And you can see dam's entry too right over here. And it shows the elimination sign too. So if it is Rand's turn now, and let's say you are so good, submit answer. Okay, so now only Sam can vote. So there is no voting right given to Dam, and the entry is already in game history with no results. Okay, so if we finish voting, then D is over here. Do discordance, then submit answer. It is Rain's turn now. Then it should be Rain's turn. Okay. Now it is time for Rain to lose. So it is not trying to force E over here. But the answer is not getting submitted because it did not start with the E. So let's say entertainment and submit answer. Sam says no. Finish answer. Winner Sam. Okay, so this was actually good, and let's exit it. So the players are already there. I can remove players too, and I can add. So let's now say to code in Flutter because that is what we want in. I want the code in Flutter. This is just an exception that we are making because it was trying to portray. So give it. And our code is ready. So we have to just copy it over here, comment the already present code, and just start it over here.
Comment it all together. Go to pubspec.yml. Remove these. Provide these new ones. And
Try to do it. You can see that after the setup there were some errors over here, and there are still some, but when you are getting the best UI and UX and the best implementation, then you can settle with few trade-offs. Now let's test it over here if it works the same. RAM add, same add, themes already started coming up, and it's done. Then add. The add button is not looking so good over here, but it is the best. This is the best UI out of all. City name. There are some overflow issues over here that we can take care of. So enter city name Milan. Submit answer. Sam says right. Finish voting. You can see game history over here. Netherlands. Submit answer. Ram says no. Finish. And the UX here is giving up. It should have been on the top, and it is giving us spaces. So nothing. Submit answer. This is right. Greater Iswol. Okay. Then little America is or algebraic China. So you can see all this history over here, but it is not showing us all the history. Yeah, we have to scroll like this, and now it shows us all the history. So start with A and submit answer. It says no. Winner Ram. Ram won the game, and that was all. So exit. There are few errors over here and there. Otherwise, it seems to be fine. 8 player is the limit over here, and the same thing appears to be true. These are going to be my final rankings based on the code results that each of these three provided us. The first one was Cloud A. It has the best UI and UX, and it was the best overall product that we can ship into production after vibe coding with a single prompt as indie hackers. And it has some small bugs, had some setup issues too, but if you are good with coding, then you can take care of these small mishaps that happened. This is the trade off. Sometimes Cloud A doesn't end up following all the things that you have mentioned over here. Just like how our second best ChatGPT did, it provided with the best logic implementation, but it did not come up with a good UI on its own. We would have to say it to come up with a good UI, then I guess it would have come up and would have been at the first place. But I have seen that if it is a longer code base, you can always stick to Cloud A. ChatGPT and Gemini doesn't even come close. So the third was Gemini. The UI was minimal, giving Android vibes, and nothing was functional. Everything was breaking, and there was no sense applied to it. And Gemini, I guess, requires much more detailed prompt. Still, you can wish on it to act better, but it stays on the third position even after Gemini 3 Pro release, ChatGPT 4.5, and Cloud A Sonnet 4.5. So we will meet in the next video and we will be comparing more such AI platforms based on the code results that they give. Bye.